Hey hunters, welcome back to the Zach and Beats podcast. It's episode 45 and we've got a lot to talk about as usual. The El Salvador event came and went and the anniversary event is on the horizon. Zach's here as usual. Hey Zach.
Hey, what's up?
We're going to end up doing a little bit of a shorter episode this time just because we got started late and maybe we could dip over a little bit into reset. But I see the sun going down already, so we'll see how we do. Zach. Ready to start walking? Yeah, exactly. That's what I got to do. I got to go buy new shoes, actually. I got like the old shoes that are falling apart and the new shoes I don't want to get all nasty. So
it's funny you mentioned that. I was just about to put some I have Slick Deals app on my phone and I saw some good deals. I was going to post to the Discord, but it's like, I don't want people to like
Slick Deals?
Yeah, there's an app called Slick Deals. It has decent deals for a lot of stuff on it. If you're about deals and
do you have to walk for the deals?
No.
Right.
Like the newer version of the shoes I have, which are normally $160. I got them for $75, I think. So
that's a bargain.
Yeah, for what you get. Yeah, half price is good.
And I know before I had asked you about shoe types, and you had some shoe type and some brand that I had never heard before. Saucony was the one you said, right?
Yeah.
Somebody else said something else that I'd never heard of before. So, all right, I'll have to check out Saucony then. So you bought $75 Sauconys? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
All right.
I did.
Good. All right, good. Well, let us know how they work for you. How your feet feel.
Will do.
Last time we were talking about you being outbid for the Snowman Blueprint, and I saw that this week the tables were turned. It sounds like you got one, or what happened?
Yep, I threw it on Twitter. So if you want to see me grabbing the blueprint out of my mailbox, you can see that.
What are the chances of 2 Snowman Blueprint going up in like 2 weeks?
So I think that somebody was interested and they asked to have it listed, the second one, that is. The first one, I don't know. Nobody said, hey, that was mine. So I'm assuming it was probably Black Boy. Yeah,
there's a very limited pool of people it could be. So
yeah, who knows? I think there's like 30 total. And then I think we only know like 10 people that actually play that have it though, right? Something like that. So.
Right, and the assumption is always that some people just kind of said, whatever, like, who cares about this, and stop playing, or something like that. Like, they found some other game, or something happened, and they stopped playing. So, yeah, if 10 people are left, that's a pretty epic snowman.
Yeah, I was just fortunate to, have the keys to take a shot at getting it. The first one, I was. Whatever, we know the story there. So I wasn't gonna fight for it once Jaya outbid me. I was actually in a conversation with her, so I was like, that works. I'm not gonna chase that, But I also thought that the anniversary event was sooner than it was, or than it is. I thought it was this month for whatever reason. I'm just not on top of stuff, and so that was one of the reasons I pulled back, but. If you remember, I messaged you and I was like, I'm not going to be prepared for the event if I do this, so I just obviously was incorrect, but.
Well, all right. So that's what I was going to say was segue into, okay, I don't know exactly. I wasn't following this other auction that you won, so I don't know how much you spent or whatever. Do you feel like you have time to recoup, to engage in the QB Air event, or like I know you said like you don't care about winning or whatever, but are you gonna try to get back your stack to do that? Are you just gonna try to skip it? What are you gonna
do? I have a few things in the auction house. Haven't really thought about the fact that I need a red key to go for it.
I think one was said that you would get a boarding pass throughout doing the quest line. So I don't know what that part means. If you still might need a red key, that doesn't exclude that you might need a red key. It just said part of the quest line.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I like your picture, your January winning picture up there in the back.
Yes, I finally did it. So if we are doing video this week, you'll be able to see that the poster I've always wanted that K-Hag actually physically made and had printed. I finally had framed and is now hanging behind me proudly. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I got a little ZnB over here, a little thing
Yeah.
I got over here. I messaged you and said like, hey, where can I get a picture of my logo? You were like, what do you want that for?
Yeah.
That's why, just that.
Well, the reason I answered like that is because like I don't know where that's at.
Okay, yeah, and I mean it's like I'm sure it's just something that's just pulled from somewhere.
I found one though, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got it. Nice. All right, cool. So that's your update for now. My update is I made it to DC over the last weekend. So I completed the sushi quest. So there's a wrinkle in this, and there's a long story that I've peppered here and there with a few people, and just been like, oh well, I'll kind of put it in the podcast. So here is that story. I'm an early bird, so I like to do things right away, and especially when I'm anxious about doing some big long trip. I get up first thing in the morning and I take off. So I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I left my house by 5:15, and I drove straight there. I didn't do the train or whatever like that because that's like driving to Philly and then taking the train down. I just didn't do that. Arrived. So 3 hours. So arrived in DC at 8:15. Now, my reason, especially for doing this, not only number one is just a lot of anxious energy, right? Like I get up in the morning and I'm just like, all right, I gotta go. Like if I know I'm doing this today, I want to go right away. I want to try to get back and have some still have some kind of family time, that kind of thing.
Right.
And I want to beat the traffic. So on the way there, no traffic.
Did you say what day of the week it was?
This was a Saturday.
Okay.
So Saturday, get there, 8:15. Find Rakuya, which is the sushi restaurant in DC. Find it right away. Park right out front. Figure out the parking thing, whatever. And then I'm like, all right, I've got plenty of time. I'm going to go walking. So walk around, go right to the yellow vault, hit the yellow vault. I found like snow owls, user vault, all that kind of good stuff. It was pretty cool. Saw the White House, went to the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, the reflecting pool. There are green vaults at most of these places. I probably hit about 10 green vaults in total, something like that. It's a really nice, flat, spacious walking area. I felt it was very regal. It's the seat of our nation, so it is extremely conducive to just kind of walking and taking it all in. So it's an awesome place to go. So that was the great part of it.
Is it pretty easy to walk the area?
Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. So I guess what's unsettling about some of DC. Number one, every single person I see, I feel like they are a lawyer or politician, or they have some sort of high-powered job. But then also there are scooters and bikes just like laying around in the street. Yeah. And I like messaged people and I was like, what is this? And they were like, oh, that this is how it works now. Like these things are locked until you pay for them and then they take off. But like, you're just walking around, there's just like scooters and bikes just in the middle of the sidewalk. Yeah. Not in like little racks or like nice little cute little rows or whatever, just like laying around. So I was like, what is going on? So yeah, that was a culture shock for me to find that.
Yeah. It's like that in downtown Kansas City. It's like that. They're usually not laying all over the place, though.
See, usually you're the like culturally naive one of like, oh, I didn't know that, and I'm like, I had no clue. Like, you at least have a city to kind of go to sometimes. I don't really have any kind of big city where I go walking around in. So, DC's awesome for that. So I like that it's culturally forward like that.
Yeah.
All right. So the kind of where this starts to fall apart is I'm a fast walker. I figure I'll walk all around, I'll get good and hungry and be all nice and tired and just sit down and relax. I burn through all of that in about 2 hours. So if you're counting along with me, it's 10:15-ish and I'm back at Rakuya. It doesn't open until 11. So I'm just sitting out front of it. So there's like a little bench across the street. I'm sitting there, like all these other shops are open, all these little like outdoor restaurants, and people are eating, and I'm just like sitting there like, oh my God, I'm like so hungry. And I'm just like, let me get in here and just eat the sushi. And so I'm sitting right outside. I realize I can just do the sushi quest while I'm sitting outside. It'll still work. And so I'm thinking, this is my reasoning in my head. I'm just going to do it while I'm sitting outside. As soon as the door is open, I'm going to go in, I'm going to order something, I'm going to tip like $20 on top of whatever I buy, and I'm just going to leave. And that way I can just run right back home, right? I'll beat the traffic or whatever I was thinking. That did not happen. I get up there at 11 a.m. and it says closed on the door. So I'm like, oh, what is this? So, all right, walk away. Walk back a minute later, still says closed. All right, just open the door anyway. Open the door, and there's a guy inside that says, we're closed. And I'm like, you open 11, right? And he's like, yeah, but we're not ready yet. I'm like, oh. So I turn around, I walk away, all right? At this point, I'm like super sweaty, super tired, super hungry. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I wait. I mill around for a couple minutes. I see some lady walk in, and she walks in, and she doesn't come back out. So I walk back up, and I walk in, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here. I have a reservation. The other people didn't show up, but I'm here." And she just kind of gives me this like what? Like completely confused that I have a reservation at 11 a.m. when there's no one in the entire restaurant. So she sits me over, and so. Here's doing this podcast. I don't think about like, oh, I'm going to end up revealing all sorts of things. Crazily enough, with all the stuff that I do with you and with the community, I have a lot of social anxiety when it comes to being in person with people. And so walking around in a city where no one's particularly like paying attention to me, I don't care. I just walk around, no big deal. If I go drive to New York, whatever, I can go around and do it. As soon as I'm sitting in this restaurant and I'm sweaty and I'm tired and I'm like, oh my God, and anytime you've been in a city people know everything is tightly compact and you're sitting right next to people, and it all started to like kind of like in the movies where like the camera like zooms out and zooms in at the same time on the person. It started to make me feel like, oh my God, like I'm starting to feel like this, like not a panic attack, but
that's
like,
what I was thinking. Yeah,
a lot of anxiety all of a sudden started to kick in, where like, all right, this other lady is sitting like almost right next to me, and there's two other ladies that are talking, and like this is what I think of. In the city, people just talk freely and they don't care who hears them and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I can hear everything you're saying. You can hear everything I'm saying if I happen to talk or say anything. And all this stuff starts to build in my head, and I'm hungry and I'm tired, and I'm just like, I need to get out of here. And so I'm like sitting there and I'm missing one part. So I start to feel that way. And so I'm like, let me just order something and get out. The waiter, the server comes up to me and says, hey, would you like something to drink? And I'm like, yeah. And I have the menu in front of me, and I'm like, and I'd like to. And she says, we don't actually serve anything until 11:30. And I was like, I cannot sit here for like 25 more minutes to then start to order something. And I couldn't do it. And I just said like, I'll just take this water for now. And then as soon as she walked away, I left. So before the headlines of Beats Cheats comes out of like, oh, he did the quest and didn't actually spend any money there, I'm driving home from DC thinking, what a piece of crap I am, and how can I make this right? And so I'm thinking, and I'm like, all right, so what I need to do, because I did do the sushi quest and I was physically there, is the only part I didn't do was I didn't spend money at Rakuya to help with the data. So what I did was, number one, there's two parts to this. Number one is I contacted Anakura and asked about being able to donate to the map by buying him a gift card to Rakuya. So I did that. So thank you, Anakura, for all of your help with the map. And I did use the map while I was in DC. So that was very helpful. So there is my map donation and my contribution to Rakuya. And I wanted to like do one better than that. So I'm leading this into a Beats giveaway quest that goes like this. If you are the first person to send me a picture of the sticker that I put in front of Rakuya, I will send you a $25 gift card to Rakuya. Now, of course, if you live somewhere else in the world, that's not going to be you. If you happen to be in Washington, D.C., now this is not open to Anakura. I'm sorry. But anyone else?
There are going to be people like asking their friends to go, hey, can you, go to this restaurant and take a picture of this sticker outside the door for me?
Okay, I don't care. So the only thing I need to send you the gift card is a name and an email address. So if you're the first person to send me my sticker, that is a Coin Hunt World sticker and it has my name on it, send me a picture of it and I will send you a $25 gift card to.
Dang,
it's an e-card.
You're really paying for this.
Yeah, because I feel terrible. And as soon as I walked out, I was like, oh no, what did I do to myself? So this is my way to, like, I don't know, buy myself out of it. And you know what? Rakuya still gets $50 out of me, which is more than he would have gotten out of me if I would have just ran in there and, bought something.
Probably could have eaten there a few times for that.
Yeah. So, hey,
I assume, I don't know.
I'll give back a little bit. Yeah, it looked great. Everything seemed fine. I just,
Just a little slow to get around for lunch, I guess.
Yeah, I will. Next time I do it, I will definitely go a little bit later so I can just kind of, do it all at once.
All right, so take a picture of Beat's sticker and send it to him with a name and email.
Yep. I don't care, if you want to post it in off topic and tag me, that's fine too. That'll be like kind of proof that you did it first. But I'm going to take the first one that sends it to me. So whatever.
Nice.
Cool.
It's very interesting.
All right, cool. And yeah, I figured that's how I would play that off. All right, so the other thing that happened recently that I just asked you about and you were like, I don't know, is Cuckoo Puffs had put out a little blurb here about wanting to get business development representatives, BDR. If you type into Discord.BDR, you will see this script here that asks about getting people to I'll just read it. To generate new business opportunities by qualifying leads and prospecting through existing business accounts to engage with potential buyers. Zach, this sounds like your kind of talk. Like, what does he want here?
I mean, this is the first I'm hearing about it, you mentioning it here. And that's just because I've had a busy few days and stuff of work. But it sounds very interesting. Sounds a lot like some of the stuff that several people in the community have tried to do. Yeah. I'm saying, including myself, but without a whatever BDR title or role. But it just, it sounds pretty neat. It sounds like a good idea. To it sounds like something that people would want to look out for and give people the incentive to, to look for partnerships for Coin Hunt World. So I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
Incentive is the key here, which I didn't say. So they're looking for people to go into, they're saying various project discords. So I don't know if that just means just go into other discords, go into their social media. I'm sure it's go wherever you can and kind of pitch Coin Hunt World. The incentive is if you get anything that converts into sales, you get 5 red keys. And then once crystal keys come out, you get $500 in crystal keys if it pans out. So it could definitely be worth it. So I know you talked about the Hero Trainer thing last week. So
let's put that out there that I was doing that before there was any incentive, so I don't know. Yes. I don't know if it'll count or not.
It should. Yes. No. Marlov asked too because he had said, "Hey, what about other things that we pitched that weren't, it didn't go anywhere." And Cuckoo Puff said, "If it eventually goes somewhere, you still get it."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to keep track of, if Marlov, or who, I think there's speculation that fishing game, I don't even know what it's called.
Either fishing. Yeah,
either fishing is going to have some partnership. And if that's the case, like, I wonder how they're going to determine like who brought it in and all that, or how they're going to document it. I assume it'll be this new, you mentioned here that there's a new, I guess, Gabrielle is taking on a role of.
Oh, right. Head of crypto sales development.
Right. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. Interesting. It's pretty cool. I guess it makes me excited because that's the kind of stuff that I would assume that'll help the game grow in partnerships and help the game save money when as we start to accumulate more players and stuff like that. Also, like put cool stuff in the game that draws, players from other platforms in. So it's exciting. And then hopefully also income generating potentially.
The real pressure, I think, is on Gabrielle because, hey, this is your job now. So you better pull something in here.
Yeah. I thought there was a Gabrielle that was a developer. I mean, it could be that he's putting on multiple hats, or I'm mistaken, one of the two.
You know what? Am I thinking of a Gabriel that was in a test account at some point? I don't know if it's the same person or if they use different aliases. I don't know. But there you go. So business development representatives. It was mentioned that kind of being the cringe, being that person that kind of says, "Hey, what about Coin Hunt World, guys?" At every single opportunity you possibly can. That's what they're probably looking for. Like I love Coin Hunt World. I'm not a salesperson. I cannot just go cold turkey. What is it? I cannot cold call everybody into Coin Hunt World. But if I can, if there's any kind of foot in the door, then I feel like I can.
Yeah. Well, just to bring a perspective to you, I'm definitely not either. But I was just simply going through the app store looking like, okay, how can I benefit from multiple apps walking? And I occasionally do that and I found this game, and I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of my time to install it and see if it's legitimate or if it works. And that's how I stumbled on Hero Trainer. And then eventually it was the dev put himself out there pretty regularly. So it was obvious like who the developer was, or the head person. And so that's when I started that communication. So, and it doesn't have to be like a big blanket statement. I mean, obviously it sounds like Cuckoo Puffs is going to provide a script, and I would suggest you use that if he's providing it. But at the same time, a one-on-one conversation is going to be a lot different than just posting in a Discord, so.
Sure. Yeah. I think the script is kind of just, the scaffolding, and then you're supposed to kind of provide the soul and the kind of flesh and bones to it. So
sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we all have, right? Like that's the easy part, I think, for all of us is to kind of do that. Hey, you're talking about apps that you've been looking into. Have you ever heard of Cashwalk?
Yeah, I haven't installed. I think I'm about to a $5 gift card.
Nice.
I don't use it a whole lot because I think somebody else mentioned like you basically tap your screen and it gives you points that eventually reward a gift card. But those taps, like you only can get so many at once, and you have to walk more before you get more to tap. So it's kind of like a thing to keep you returning to the app.
Sure.
But that's the way I look at it anyways. I don't know if that's the purpose or not, but it's a little more interactive, but just because you have to open multiple times, but you don't have to. It's just like if you want to accumulate faster, you need to. But
I just asked because there was a little conversation about that, kind of like companion apps to Coin Hunt World, and Medvy Rich mentioned Cashwalk, and I was like, oh, well, give me the referral to it, and it gave me an error on my phone. It would not work, so I cannot benefit from it. But I like the idea of using that or a Hero Trainer or whatever to kind of feed the Google Play account to be able to pay. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, and if Hero Trainer does start partnering with Coin Hunt World, I think it'll be neat in that I can tell that they've got a lot planned for their game too, in lore and being able to send your hero on to like do quests and stuff. So I can, and then I just imagine that it would be really easy to like throw a QB into Coin Hunt World that's a Hero Trainer QB, you know what I mean? So it would be pretty, I would think it'd be pretty, obviously you would have to have partnership and legal stuff, but I imagine it would be pretty simple. But yeah, I'm hopefully that they get a bunch of partnerships and it leads to more growth. So I'm excited about it. I'm happy that he's come up with this thing, and I hope that it brings out a lot of people that aren't like you and me, and that aren't kind of like timid and don't want to jump in and just
right.
That, I mean, but I was just saying that earlier that I'm not that person either. So, but like you said, it's easier to talk to somebody one-on-one than it is to
Right. And like text is a lot easier, I think, for a lot of people.
Right.
Anything where once removed in some way. So you like doing this. It's easier.
Right.
So cool. So get out there and earn that 5 red keys or $500 in crystal keys. That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
I think that sounds even better because if you think about that'll, if you're on iOS, all I can think about is that's
That's
going to keep the crypto from draining if you can't buy the, with Google Play or whatever. So that would be amazing. But yeah, I mean, the 5 red keys is awesome too, but with so much keyflation, you know what I mean, they can buy you less in the game. But
why does
obviously,
why does iPhone hate Google so much?
why does iPhone hate any competitor so much? I don't know.
I don't understand how iPhone and Google are competitors. I mean,
Well, the
not to get into all that.
the Android store, whatever, I don't even know what it's called because I don't use an Android, but the App Store is iPhone versus the Google Store, Google Play Store. I don't know.
Why can't we all
You're
just be friends?
you're the one with the Android.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I had a sidekick until like 2010, so I don't know. I just keep things forever.
Nice.
I'll be very sad when my OnePlus 6T dies. All right, so let's go to Green Vault trivia. I, so I get a lot of green vaults that are repetitive, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's easy. And then this one was completely brand new, and this was one of those ones where I couldn't totally understand the question right away because, again, the movie title did not have, I don't know, quotes or something about it that made it pop out. You know what I mean? So the question is, where was Jack Lemmon's son missing? And this is in cinema. I'd never even heard of this movie. So the answer is Chile. I guess he went to Chile to.
So what movie was it from? Sorry.
The movie is called Missing, and I'm looking at
Missing.
the question right now. I took a screenshot of it. So it's capitalized, but that's it. So it just says, where was Jack Lemmon's son missing? The answer is Chile. And what I think of that celebrity question that asks where the Jersey Shore person was born. I don't know if you see that very often,
Snooki, yeah.
but that's Snooki, yeah. So that's what I thought of when I quick Googled it and it said Chile. I was like, I'm always going to remember that Snooki is from Chile and Jack Lemmon's son is also from Chile, apparently. That's the best I got.
Okay, that's good. I think it's a good way to remember it. So
I guess.
I think we talked last time how I told you that I need to start recording the greens when I do them. First off, I've not been hunting very much at all, which is totally abnormal for me.
Yeah.
I think I've gone on like a year and a half, straight of every single day. And I'll say the past 3 days, I've probably hit 10 to 20 volts a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really smacking.
Yeah, definitely.
See, it even happens to the legendary hunters, guys.
It's not because I don't want to. It's just because life, But anyways, I put a question on here in my favorite category, which is green crypto. But I put one that I feel like that I could potentially get wrong if I didn't look it up, because I think I've had this question before, but it just didn't stick with me. So that's why I put it on here. But a security measure where computer networks are not connected is known as what? So I definitely wouldn't know the answer without looking it up or having answers in front of me like our questions do.
Right.
But the answer is air gap. So I don't know how we want to remember that, but I guess it makes sense that you have an air gap between networks that aren't connected, but
right.
I don't know.
I've actually gotten that question before and gotten it right because of that exact thing of just like, well, it's not connected, so there must be a gap, and boom. So yeah, I remember that. And it's weird that to me that's totally a technology question.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the same way with crypto. Crypto has questions that are related to markets, finance and markets, and not necessarily just crypto, but you got those overlaying, very related categories. So
which you know what, which is funny, but the Cuckoo Puffs was talking about that today. That he was saying it's good to have questions that kind of fall into two different categories, because then later on, so his example was, then you could group things in a different way. So you could later on have like an Australia category, and it would just pick out the different, actors and whatever from anything that was from Australia and throw it in there. So
that's a good point.
That makes sense. I mean, I guess at some point they're not going to want to come up with a whole new trivia category for every single thing, and to be able to kind of just yank it back from what you already have there makes more sense.
Buddy quests.
I just don't want more. I don't want more trivia in the game.
Yeah, we are starting to get to a point where, I mean, I think the 10 categories per month limits it, but I do feel like we're starting to get to a point on some of the categories. I'm like, oh, just thinking about having to answer questions from those categories, and that's going to be a lot of goods. And
and this month, to me it's an easy month because wordplay is in there, celebrities, and there's a bunch of easy ones. And I'm like, as soon as there's one where like there's none of my categories in there, it's going to be brutal.
The way it feels like they almost know that this is an easy month, and then it's gonna be it's gonna be books, and I mean that might be easy for you, I don't know, music, and not really. I don't know, I'm just gonna be all these hard categories where you're like every time it's like, ooh.
Yes, it's like 50-50 if I'm gonna know this or not.
Right.
On a blue. So hey, all right, well, we'll find out. It's the beginning of the month, so we got a while to still go with what we got.
Yeah.
All right. So, Buddy Quest, you had Zero Eye written here.
Yeah, I actually have. We started the podcast, or right before we started the podcast, I said, again, just I haven't really done any hunting, but this morning, right before work or right when work started, I noticed that I had a Buddy Quest pop up with Zero Eye. I have not reached out to him yet, but then I think it's because I haven't restarted the app all day, the Coin Out World app. I assume that's why. But then I told you, I was like, the icon for Buddy Quest is gone on the friends list, but he's still at the top, so you're like, oh, maybe he deleted you.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
He hates your guts.
Yeah, but you mentioned restarting the app, and I was like, oh, yeah, duh. And so restarted the app, and everything's fine. So I have a quest with you, Zero Eye, if you're listening, but I'm sure I'll reach out to you before you listen to this, or if you listen to this, but.
Yeah, if he does.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
You have Crypto Keeper down here.
Yeah, Crypto Keeper was a great Buddy Quest. Did it right away. I think he said I can only do it at 8:30 at night, and I was like, no problem. And then exactly at 8:30 at night, boom, done. The only tricky thing was Crypto Keeper, you have an H in your Discord name, so it didn't throw me off, but just to throw it out there that it might throw somebody else off at some point. They won't catch that H in there. Crypto H Keeper. So I always suggest keeping them both the same so it's easy. But hey, if it works for you and it's been working so far, then so be it.
All right, little teaser here, ladies. If you're listening, you might want to get on and watch because Beats is stripping.
Yeah. My wife likes it to be very cold in our house, so I usually start with something warm on and then go from there. And then I slowly get drunker and drunker. So yeah, things come off.
I'm sober, so it's.
Wow, is this the first? Is this the first one?
No, but it's the first one in a while though.
I was gonna say we're coming up pretty close to a year. No, it's been a little bit longer. It's been another month or so. Right after you got the Legend.
I'm really surprised that we've been this consistent. I mean, I know I'm probably I'm pretty hard to work with because just I can't always escape right when I want to between my wife and work. So so thank you for being here as long as you have. And I guess, 4 basically.
Here's to many more.
Yes, just to drink. Hey, honey, I'm going to drink. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to be completely vulnerable here, and say again, I guess I just, I don't know. So it's a little embarrassing, I guess, because It's not super surprising though, but on the 4th, I got hammered, or right after when I was doing fireworks, I have a younger half sister, and her brother-in-law, he's a pretty big drinker, and he just kept feeding me drinks,
Peer pressure. Yep.
shots and beer and all kinds of stuff. And I followed that up with I had no idea it was related. Didn't even know what it was at the time, but it followed up with, it was gout, and I had no idea. Because my foot started hurting, my big toe started hurting. I'm like,
what?
I was like, I think I broke my toe. And then I told some other people, and my wife was like, I think she was embarrassed for me, or embarrassed that I had it. I don't know, but my dad is
gout.
Yeah, my father isn't I mean, I would never say this to his face, but he's a full-fledged alcoholic. And I asked him if he ever had it, because it's supposedly genetic. Nope, not once in his life. And I'm like, what the, because I was doing a walking quest like a month or so ago, and I was in Iowa, and at my wife's family reunion, and I was walking, I was limp walking, and I was still doing it, but it hurt like fuck. But I had medication at the time though, so it did help. But one of her relatives was asking me like, "Oh, what's wrong?" My wife was like, "Oh, just tell him like." She was basically essentially told me to lie. Like I said, that's just not me though. So anyways, so I just told her, and she's like, gout? She's like, that's like an old person thing, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, it is. So thanks.
I just looked it up, and it's a form of arthritis characterized by severe pain, redness, and tenderness in joints. What does that have to do with drinking?
Yeah, so apparently it's a buildup of too much uric acid in your blood.
Okay.
And I'm not a doctor, just put it there, but what I've read is
You're not?
Yeah, exactly. When I read it, it reminded me of like a kidney stone, like kidney stones, like the uric acid like crystallizes near your joints.
Oh, okay.
And then it's painful painful around those joints, and that's what causes the irritation and the redness. And I think that it's basically harmless in the sense that it's painful, but unless you unless you let it go and let it get really bad, or just
keep walking on it.
Yeah, go crazy walking on it, then then it was probably it's bad for your joints for it to be repeated. So you're supposed to drink plenty of water, and
so that's why you're not drinking tonight, is what you're saying.
That's one of the reasons, yes, because I don't I've also read once it flares up, it's likely to reoccur. And so I'm all oh, God, I don't. And it's another things that trigger it are things that every man wants, red meat. It's it's drinking, and you're like, oh no, drinking red meat. It's man. Half my life is gone. So no.
There you go, hunters. If you are ever lamenting your place in life, the legendary hunter himself has gout flare-ups.
Yeah, that it does really sound bad, but it wasn't too bad. But I've also I looked up things that could potentially help. Obviously drinking a lot of fluid, just like if you had a kidney stone, would help. That uric acid or whatever not be so prevalent in your
cranberry
blood.
Juice or something.
Yeah, that might actually be. But I read cherries, so I have cherries now, and bananas.
And Coke.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I'll do next time. Let's put 2 cherries and look, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's I don't think it works that way, but yeah. I mean, anyways, yeah, that is not the tangent I expected to go to on this episode.
Just sharing your medical history with us. That's all.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody appreciates hearing about my problems. So
I mean, hey, you did go to a vulnerable place, so that's always click worthy. So remember to like and subscribe because of that.
Yeah.
Hit that bell for the notifications on Zach's gout.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen beat so I can do that.
Yes, go ahead.
That giveaway for Coin Hunt World, and
Everybody can see our awesome. Oh wait, okay. All right,
Hero
cool.
trainer, yeah. All right,
There we
so
go.
I just literally Googled random number generator, and it does exactly what I want, except that I think we have 11 submissions. I think I have everybody on here that qualifies, and I just put a number next to their name.
Cool, cool.
So 2 is not the number. I just refreshed
Right.
this, and it came here. So that's all. So nor 7 the number. So
You're gonna hit generate, and that's
I'm gonna hit generate, and then one of these people are going to win. And
win what? And what do they win?
There's
Tell them what they win, Zach.
Tell them what they win. There's 2 $5 gift cards. Basically, my rewards from Hero. My first rewards from Hero Trainer. I'm giving away my rewards from Hero Trainer. So.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, one of them is a $5 Amazon gift card, and one's a $5 Google Play gift card.
Whoa! All right.
All right. So
quarter of the way there to a adventure pass.
Yep. So all you have to do is watch this, I guess, or have somebody that watched it tell you won. and then reach out to me. All right, number 4. So
we'll probably just message the person ourselves.
Who
number 4-1?
Yeah, Fortis et Fitus.
There you go. I've seen that name before.
There you go. All right, you can't win again. So if we get 4 up here again, at least that's my rule I just made up right now. It's because I want somebody else to win.
Yeah, I mean,
2 winners.
It's good to spread the love. Oh wait, and there's two separate winners. Okay.
Yeah. There's 2 gift cards.
So what did Fortis et Fitus win?
You know what? I guess I'll let them choose which one. The Amazon.
Oh, okay. So it's like the
You know what?
Price is Right.
Yeah, no? You know what? Let's do like whoever reaches out to me first. They can.
Oh, so whoever's paying attention. First.
Yeah, or who listens to the podcast first, I guess, right?
Nice. Okay, I like it.
All right, let's do it again. 7.
7.
Oh, Loop-de-loop.
Loop-de-loop.
So
Nice.
I'm just gonna put this out there just because I heard him say this before.
Not so casual now.
I might be able to I've heard him be like, oh, when we joined a Hero Trainer, he's like, oh, and he was eyeballing the gift card to GameStop. So if you want GameStop instead of Google Play, I think I already have the Amazon one, but if you want GameStop instead of Google Play, I can do that. But well, I guess I would make it. But
they don't have Coin Hunt World stuff at GameStop.
That's true. Like, why do you want GameStop? What game are you gonna get there?
No games at GameStop.
All right, it's funny that Loop won. Oh, how cute.
All right, so congratulations, Fortis et Fitus and Loop-de-Loop. Good stuff. Yeah. It worked. All right, cool. The Twitter contest for this week was Animals. Rubik's won with a picture of a little bunny. So good job, Rubik's.
Nice.
And then this week that we're already in the midst of is Coin Hunt Snacks. This is the thing I rarely keep up with at all, so I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but I hope to see some cool snacks come up soon.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Is it talking about food?
I mean, I assume, unless.
Okay.
I mean, what else? Snack is also an attractive person, so you're gonna get away with that. I
don't know. yeah. Let's see you pull that off.
I'm a snack. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the top 10 as of August 9th. It's one more thing. Go ahead.
I'll pause you. Wasn't there like some Twitter contest about like how Coin Hunt World has positively affected your life? Did I see something like that?
It was about traveling and about did you go on a road trip or meet up with people or do something like that. It was kind of that kind of thing.
Okay.
So like it was like a summer, like, hey, what'd you do with your summer Coin Hunt World? And then you had to respond to that tweet with a
Is it
picture.
over?
I don't know. I know that I posted something in it. I never know dates. I'm not good with that kind of thing. I just know if I'm interested, I post right away and then I can forget about it. Okay. So if it's still going on though, go to the announcements page on the Discord. That's what I would do.
I see it.
Okay, and then see if it's still going on, and then you have to post a picture of either a road trip that you took, like a picture of somewhere you went, like maybe if you went to Oklahoma or whatever you did, and or if you met up with other hunters and took a picture or something like that.
It doesn't close until September 5th.
So, oh wow, there's tons of time then.
Yeah. So one of the following: the hunting shoes you've gone through.
Oh, that's right. That's
your fitness journey. So I guess that would qualify, like if you've lost weight or whatever. Your Sushi Quest meal beats you.
Shut the fuck up. I don't care about that.
No, I was gonna say you could just ask the people who you gave gift cards to, like send me,
Send me yours.
send me an image of your plate. Like, I got two. Man, taking a road trip, I guess you qualify for that too, right? I mean, I had a road trip.
That was my picture. I sent a picture of the Washington Monument. I got a pretty good one.
And then you're multi-hunter at Coin Hunt World Adventure. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, that sounds fun. Like,
yes, that's cool, right?
Yeah, makes me wish that like they would have multiple contests like that.
Like maybe over every event. Like, tell us about your Hawaii event. Tell us about your, like, you could kind of probably make that out of every event, I think.
Yeah, I think the reason I'm saying that is because I'm like, oh, that would be. I mean, I would do it if I had a Sushi Quest thing, but the Coin Hunt World Fitness Journey, yeah, I'd love to do that. I might do that one. The hunting shoes you've been through, like I was just feeling I was just feeling the bottom of my shoes right now, and they're like, they're pretty slick. I did this.
Call back to the beginning of our episode.
What I've done, I don't know if this would qualify as like a pro hunter / walker tip or not, but like definitely I wouldn't call it a runner. Like if you're a runner, I wouldn't suggest doing this because I feel like a lot of those the insoles you put in shoes like have a tendency to move around, especially you got to really cut them right. And then but anyway,
cut them?
Well, yeah, the ones I bought, you take out your own insole and you put it over the one you bought, and then you cut it to where it's identically the same size.
I'm sure God, I've always just been jamming them in.
Oh my God. I'm sure that you could probably like glue them and they probably stay a little bit better too. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, some of them are really.
Why don't I just build the shoe myself?
Well, the point is, like, if you have a solid pair of shoes that still has life in it, you could probably extend the life. That's what I did with a pair of my shoes recently. I extended the life. I'm going to call extended the life of them because now I feel like they're my most comfortable pair of shoes after putting these insoles, but I definitely can't run in them because, like,
those insoles are like $20 though.
What? I mean, it depends where you get them out. Like, I think I got mine off Amazon for like $11.90 or something. But
yeah, but you didn't get Dr. Scholl's.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't know. I've never had one of those. But I mean, if the shoes you're buying are $160, then $11 to extend them like 5 or 6 months isn't that big of a deal.
Good God, $160 shoes.
Well, that's why I bought $160 for $75 this week. So.
Oh, for $75. Okay.
But yeah. Anyways.
But you can't run in them because they move around.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This is my first time trying to do it, but they are comfortable walking for sure. But
all right, cool.
Anyways, your top 10. Sorry.
Yeah, let's jump into it. We're past the reset.
I don't even know if I'm in the top 100.
You are. I think I saw you at like 60 something earlier.
Yeah, I'm still walking. So.
Good. All right, number 10. Your favorite person, Mebsy. You freaked out that Mebsy was in the top 10 before, and there they are, number 10.
Yeah.
Number 9. Why You Run. I don't know who that is, but thank you for being there. Why You Run. Number 8, Mad Buckets 33. Mad Buckets is the first printer of the Sushi Chef, so that's awesome. I saw that the Master Sushi Chef was found by someone, and they have not been able to print it yet because it requires a knife or a sharp knife or something like that. So that's weird. So we'll see that.
Why You Run.
Why You Run. So, and the Mad Buckets, good stuff. I like seeing the Sushi Chef up there. Number 7, Squeamy. Squeamy flirting with disaster there. You're not supposed to be up there, Squeamy. Get out of there.
Oh, man. You know, if he's up there this month that high, that he could have won last month. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, what a flex to be like, oh, I'm just going to stop being in the top 5. Like, all right. Like, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
He'll just have to cry on his bed of red keys. Number 6, Gladita. Gladita is around a lot. I see that name, and I see it in the Discord sometimes. So good stuff, Gladita. Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to do 5?
Yeah, no, go. You're better at it, so
okay.
I'll listen. Plus, we don't want to be here for 3 more hours.
That's right, sure.
And they won't go in order.
Yeah, that's right. Totally, just leave it to me. All right, number 5, Ben 00000. Thanks for being there, Ben. I have not seen that name before, so good stuff.
Really?
Number 4.
I've definitely seen that.
Have you? Really? Okay. All right. Hey, reach out, Ben. You're top 5, so good stuff. Number 4, Hidden Falcon. Peregrine, you've got some competition there for the Falcon privileges. Hidden Falcon is there. So there's a couple people just rocking the shark. I guess these people just got the shark. So Gladita, Hidden Falcon. And number 3, Cyber Trucker. Love the name, Cyber Trucker. I don't even know what that means, but it's cool. So another person wearing the shark.
I'm thinking like that new Tesla truck.
Oh, okay. All
Uh-huh.
right. I like it. All right. Let us know how it is.
Hidden Falcon, Crouching Dragon. Sorry.
I like it. I like that. Number 2, Ravens 73, just rocking the red QB. Don't know who you are, Ravens. Good stuff, though, that you're number 2. It's August 9th, so we'll see how long you stay in there, because that's a hard spot to hold on to. And the hardest spot of all to hold on to is number 1, Falcor of UK Persuasion, and recent IT guy guest is number 1. So good stuff,
do you know who Falcor is? I mean, do you
I don't know
talk to the person regularly in Discord or anything?
I do not believe I've had a conversation with Falcor, but
I'm just always curious, because if I don't, I mean, sometimes I find that I end up finding out that I actually do know somebody when I think I don't, or I have seen them talk a bunch, or have interacted with them, or have like DMs with them, and I don't
like Limpy 37.
Yeah, like Limpy 37.
That we've had on the podcast.
Oh man.
No, so yes, I have not talked to Falcor in person, but good stuff. You're number 1 right now, so it sounded like he was pretty confident on the IT Guys podcast. So we'll follow along. We'll see where you're at next week. What do we have going on next week? I don't think there's anything in particular coming up, just that we're waiting on the anniversary event to happen and the occasional beans getting dropped. So, we're doing a little bit of a shorter one this time. It's going to be a little bit less than an hour, but hey,
did you listen to our last podcast?
I'm sure I did. Why do you say that?
I'm just wondering if you listened to the very end of it.
Oh, because you added in an old song that I did. I only knew that because other people listen to our podcast right away, I guess. And then they say like, oh, I like that song at the end of it. And then, of course, I don't know what you put at the end of our episode. So I have to go and listen to it. That's
I was thinking if the worst case scenario, it might get you more attention on your YouTube channel. So
yeah, I got to beat
hey, where's that at?
I got to beat that new Coin Hunt World Order guy.
There you go.
He put out a new song. It's actually awesome. I'm not I don't make my own music kind of person, but this person does. So I like it. Keep doing it.
Wasn't it like rapish kind of? I don't recall. Or was it? No, I think I listened to it. I'm not sure though. That's kind of where I'm going with that question.
It's a little bit on the. I'll say it's like a slower beat to most of the stuff that he does. But it's enjoyable. Obviously, if you like Coin Hunt World, you will enjoy the songs.
Yeah.
So give them a listen, and maybe you just straight rip them off and put it at the end of this podcast right now.
Rip them off. They're like,
I won't use those words.
Small claims court.
Edit that out and say, let's give him exposure and put it at the end of this podcast right now. Zach, give him the beat.